Minister of Health encourages persons who receive their first COVID shot to get their second vaccination in order to be fully immunized. Adolescent motorcyclist killed in hit and run, driver wanted by the police. Tuschen businessman allegedly robbed and murdered at his home. In the region, critical fuel shortages sparks more Haiti protests, and internationally, 2 million Kenyans face starvation amid long-standing drought. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Tonight's newscast starts with some heartbreaking news. On Sunday, a 59-year-old male amputee was discovered dead, suspected to be robbed and murdered in his home at Tuschen housing scheme East Bank, Essequibo. The dead man has been identified as businessman Keith Hoenkirk. Inquiries disclosed that the man lived alone with a small concrete grocery shop at the front of his premises. He was last seen alive on Saturday, October 23rd, around 6:30 p.m., sitting on his front veranda by his neighbor. On Sunday, around 6:30 a.m., the said neighbor went to check on Hoenkirk, and as she opened the front door, which she found unlocked, she observed the entire hall and kitchen area ransacked. Further checks in the bedroom revealed the victim lying motionless on his back with his hands tied with transparent scotch tape and his mouth tied with a piece of brown cloth. The police were summoned and his body was checked for any marks of violence, but none were seen. The body was taken to the Lenora Cottage Hospital and was officially pronounced dead. The body is presently at the Ezekiel Funeral Home awaiting a post-mortem examination. Investigations are in progress. Meanwhile, police on the east coast of the Marara are looking for a driver of a white wagon that killed an adolescent motorcyclist over the weekend. Esther Soros has the details.
Police are on the hunt for a driver of a white wagon that fatally hit a 17-year-old motorcyclist on the Oval Railway embankment East Coast Darara on Sunday night and drove away. According to police report, around 9 p.m., a motorcycle CH6584 driven by 17-year-old construction worker was proceeding east along the Oval Railway embankment, and a white motor car was heading in the said direction in front of the motorcyclist. The driver of the motorcycle was in the process of overtaking the motor car when the driver of the car suddenly made a right turn into the Oval Access Road. The car collided with the rear of the motorcycle, causing the driver to lose control and fall. As a result, the motorcyclist, who was not wearing a helmet, received injuries to his head and other parts of his body. The said unknown car then fled the accident scene. The motorcyclist, who hailed from Better Hope, East Coast Darara, was picked up in a conscious state and taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital for operation. However, he was officially pronounced dead on arrival. The body is presently lying at the Georgetown Public Hospital mortuary awaiting post-mortem examination. Further checks are in progress on the said unknown motor car as investigations continue. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Soros.
Thanks, Esther. A 58-year-old overseas-based housewife is left in shock and counting her losses after two males armed with a handgun entered her home at the number 73 village Corentyne Berbice during the wee hours of this morning. They robbed her and her son of jewelry and other valuables totaling over $210,000 and one white Fielder wagon PTT 864 value unknown. Enquiries reveal that the woman and her 31-year-old son secured their home and went to a wake about 9 p.m. on Sunday in the said village. The woman returned home around 12:45 a.m. on Monday. She alleges that she was napping while waiting on her son to return. The woman was awakened by two males dressed in dark clothing with masks and gloves. One of them pointed a small handgun at her head and demanded that she take off her gold chain and two gold finger rings, while the other bandit went in the room to search. They subsequently went downstairs and were confronted by the second victim, who had just driven into the yard. Upon seeing the bandits, the man ran and left his car with the keys in the ignition. The two bandits then took the car and made good their escape. Forced entry was seen at the door of the lower flat. Investigations are ongoing. Stick around after the break. Minister of Health urges citizens to get fully inoculated, and Bandit drowned while trying to run away from the law enforcement officers.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Alabama Trading has everything you need every day. The best brands at the lowest prices. And right now, you can save much more on a larger range of food products and everyday essentials. Choose from our extensive array of fresh and packaged food items. Plus, there's a huge variety in ladies' handbags and accessories, children toys, backpacks and school bags, bicycles, rugs, outdoor and indoor furniture, cleaning and sanitizing products, and so much more. Alabama Trading. Better products, better prices.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Survival Supermarket Senior Citizens Day is every Wednesday, and you can get 7% off everything on sale except alcoholic drinks. And to make more of our customers eligible, we have dropped the age requirement from 60 to 55, so you can benefit from the big discounts on everything in your trolley. Yes, Survival Supermarket Senior Citizens Day gives you 7% off every Wednesday, if you're 55 and older, of course. Just walk with your ID card as proof of your age, and then shop, shop, shop at Survival Supermarket.
Welcome back. During his COVID-19 update today, Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony said many persons are not taking their COVID-19 vaccines despite sufficient jabs being available for everyone in the country. He is again calling on persons to take their second shot to become fully immunized.
We still have a number of persons who should come forward to get their first dose vaccines. And in every region, we are still not at that 80%, excepting for Region 4, where we are about 82 point something percent. All other regions are below 80%, and therefore there's still a lot of room for persons to come forward and get one of the COVID-19 vaccines.
The minister noted another concern to the ministry is that persons who took the first dose are not returning for their second dose.
Persons have received their first dose vaccine, but they're not coming back for their second dose. And we want to encourage those persons who have received a first dose to come forward and get their second dose as quickly as possible.
The ministry has currently stopped giving the first doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine. However, there are adequate second doses for persons who took the first shot. There are also adequate first and second doses of Sinopharm and Sputnik V, and there are adequate doses of the first single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
A week ago, the FDA has recommended that after 52 days, you'll have to get a booster shot. So right now we're examining the possibility of that, but as of now, the J&J would remain a single dose. So we have vaccines that are available, and we want to make sure that people come and get vaccinated. Because if they don't, we are going to have a challenge where the unvaccinated persons are the ones who are predominantly ending up getting sick with COVID and ending up in the hospital, and of those, some of them are dying because they have not been vaccinated.
The minister said there is also a disparity in the adolescent population.
For the children, we have initially saw rapid uptake of the vaccines, and these are the Pfizer vaccines. However, I think over the last week, we have started to see a slow off, where not as many children are coming forward to get vaccinated. We need this to go up back again, because if children are not properly vaccinated, it's going to take a long time for us to return safely to school. And therefore, I would urge that parents take their children to get vaccinated.
The health minister also noted that apart from children, the Pfizer vaccine is also being administered to pregnant and breastfeeding women.
We just have to keep encouraging. I know there's lots of nonsense that people read on the internet, and because of that, they become hesitant. And we have some persons locally as well who have been, sharing a lot of misinformation. I think people have to be a little bit more discerning, and they have to be smart. They have to think about what it is that's going to protect their health. And certainly from all the scientific evidence, these vaccines are the things that are going to protect you.
The health minister said there is still a lot of work that needs to be done when it comes to vaccination if the country is to achieve herd immunity. Currently, 73.6% of the adult population have received the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccination. 46.4% have been fully inoculated. We now turn our focus to Berbice's west coast, where 2 people were arrested for cannabis possession during a police patrol. Esther Sobers has more information.
2 individuals have been arrested and awaiting charges after police discovered several grams of narcotics in their possession on Sunday night. Reports are that a police mobile patrol acting on information received around 11:30 p.m. stopped minibus BXX 119 at Seafield Public Road and escorted the same to Weldad Police Station. At the station, a search was conducted on a 44-year-old male passenger where 3 wrapped parcels containing leaves, seeds, and stems suspected to be cannabis were found in the traveling bag he had in his possession. He was told of the offense, arrested and cautioned, admitted possession of the said suspected narcotics. A further search was carried out in the minibus, where a green and grey haversack was seen in the truck belonging to a 23-year-old male passenger. 3 bulky parcels containing leaves, seeds, and stems suspected to be cannabis were discovered. The passenger was told of the allegation, arrested and cautioned. He denied possession of the said narcotics. The suspected cannabis was weighed, and those found in the first suspect possession amounted to be 3,176 grams, while the second set of cannabis weighed 3,856 grams. Both suspects are presently in custody as further investigations are underway. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Silvers.
Thanks, Esther. 2 bandits are on the run, while a third died by drowning after committing several daring daylight robberies on Saturday, October 23rd at LBI on the east coast of the Marara. Reports are that around 10:45 a.m., The three suspects entered the private residence of three females at Lebanon Intention through an open door in the lower flat, armed with a handgun. They assaulted the first victim, a 56-year-old woman, while demanding cash and jewelry. She then took off her 2 rings and handed to one of the bandits before starting to scream. The 2 other victims in the upper flat, a 27-year-old and a 23-year-old, were alerted and came downstairs. The gunmen then took the second victim to the upper flat and demanded more valuables. The third victim was relieved of her gold chain. She managed to run out of the house and alerted neighbors, who raised an alarm. The 3 suspects ran out of the house and exited the yard by jumping the fence. They got into a burgundy motor car, registration number unknown. However, public-spirited citizens gave chase along with a responding mobile patrol. The suspects jumped into a canal that separated LBI and Chateau Margaux. 2 of the suspects were able to make their getaway while the third went under the water. The body was recovered in an unconscious state, taken to the C.C. Nicholson Hospital and pronounced dead. He was found with a red bandana, 2 gold rings, $980, a UG student ID card, and a black Pro cellular phone. The body was then taken to the Jurik's funeral home, where it was identified by his mother to be that of 22-year-old Shamar Charles of Lot 43 Plantain Walk, Triumph Village, East Coast, Demerara, and Agricola, East Bank, Demerara. Investigations are ongoing. Don't go away after the break. Critical fuel shortages sparks more Haiti protests, and thousands of migrants refugees sets off from Mexico to the US. But before that, here's the bridge retraction schedule.
Survival Supermarket Senior Citizens Day is every Wednesday, and you can get 7% off everything on sale except alcoholic drinks. And to make more of our customers eligible, we have dropped the age requirement from 60 to 55, so you can benefit from the big discounts on everything in your trolley. Yes, Survival Supermarket Senior Citizens Day gives you 7% off every Wednesday, if you're 55 and older, of course. Just walk with your ID card as proof of your age, and then shop, shop, shop at Survival Supermarket. When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold, and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Alabama Trading has everything you need every day. The best brands at the lowest prices. And right now, you can save much more on a larger range of food products and everyday essentials. Choose from our extensive array of fresh and packaged food items. Plus, there's a huge variety in ladies' handbags and accessories, children toys, backpacks and school bags, bicycles, rugs, outdoor and indoor furniture, cleaning and sanitizing products, and so much more. Alabama Trading. Better products, better prices.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Several fuel shortages have sparked more protests in Haiti's capital. The cost of fuel has soared and some petrol stations have closed. Gangs have started kidnapping and killing truck drivers, which is only adding to the problem. Al Jazeera's Manuel Buffalo reports.
Fires burning in the streets of the Haitian capital. While protests over worsening insecurity have swept the city in recent days, demonstrations over fuel shortages are also becoming a daily occurrence. There are fears the city would come to a standstill if supplies aren't resumed soon.
The government is not doing its job. They are the ones that should give us security. They should do everything to make sure pumps have petrol so we can do what we have to do.
Despite some gas stations already running dry, queues of motorists keep growing, as do tensions at the pump.
The problem is the people in government. The rich are fighting the poor.
Some motorists tell us fuel is becoming so hard to come by, it can take days to get their hands on only a few gallons.
Across the Haitian capital, many petrol stations have closed their doors altogether, creating a black market for fuel. In recent days, the price of gasoline has gone from $10 to $15 per gallon, and it's a cost that's only getting higher as the fuel shortage worsens.
Delivering fuel to residents has become more difficult as violence linked to criminal gangs spreads to more parts of the city. Gang members have made a lucrative business out of extorting and kidnapping petrol delivery drivers. Fuel transporters are threatening a strike to protest against the violence directed towards delivery personnel.
A reason why there's no petrol is that some of the drivers have been kidnapped previously with their trucks. The owners have paid for the truck to be released, but left the driver behind and they were killed. That's why drivers are now scared to go to the cargo terminal because they may get kidnapped.
Though the recent abduction of 17 missionaries by a Haitian gang has captured global headlines, violence and kidnappings are a challenge that most residents here face on a daily basis. And between increasing insecurity, fast rising fuel prices, and an economic crisis exacerbated by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, security experts say the situation is a ticking time bomb for social unrest. Manuel Rapalo, Al Jazeera, Port-au-Prince.
Thousands of migrants or refugees have set off on foot from southern Mexico in the hope of making it to the United States. The group is mainly made up of Haitians and Central Americans who have been stranded in southern Mexico for months. Al Jazeera's John Holman reports.
Another caravan in Mexico. It's been a reoccurring picture over the last 2 years. Migrants grouping together to try and force a way through the country into the US border. The only surprise is that this time around, they haven't been stopped by Mexican authorities. Yet. About 1,000 people left Tapachula, the city close to Mexico's southern border with Guatemala, on Saturday morning. They were trying to break through a ring of security forces confining them there over months. They called the city a prison.
Many Nicaraguans have been detained here for 6, 7 or 8 months. We've been locked up for a long time. We can't take it anymore. We don't have work, and we can't live in our country, which is much worse. So we need to get out of here to feed our families.
Shortly after leaving Tapachula, a shield wall of the National Guard did block the road ahead. That usually signals the end for caravans, detentions, deportations. But this time around, after a struggle, most people got through. Now they go on, but very slowly. Mexican authorities have strictly prohibited buses or taxis carrying migrants. On foot, it will take them weeks to cover the about 2,000 kilometers to the US. especially with women and children present, although the majority of those walking are men. Where are they from? Different places: Haiti, South and Central America. But most have something in common: they're fleeing poverty, political turmoil or violence in their own lands. At the moment, their aim is to get to Mexico City and get papers to stay. Those who want to travel further to the US are assured of a cold welcome. Forces in Texas state are already being mobilized to stop them. That's if Mexico's authorities don't do so first and soon, as, under US pressure, they always have done before. John Holman, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
And internationally, about 2 million Kenyans are facing starvation as a long-lasting drought affects harvest and food production. The government has declared the situation a national disaster. Al Jazeera's Christine Soy reports.
In this part of Wajir County, there is nothing left to eat for Abdirahman Hussein Abdi's remaining cattle. Nearly every day he wakes up to this. His animals are wasting away and dying from hunger and disease. He says his prized bull that would on a good day cost around $700 does not have long to live either. Most of the animals here in northeastern Kenya are in poor condition. He's desperate.
We're struggling. Of 700 cattle for 3 families, there's only 300 left. They're malnourished. The ones that appear healthy just drop. I'm not sure what's affecting them.
In another village many kilometers away, Shaban Isaac is just getting back home from a 4-hour trek to fetch water for his family and the sheep and goats he desperately needs to keep alive. Dead and dying livestock scatter his compound.
For 7 months we've been fetching water from very far away.
Malnutrition rates continue to rise. Children are receiving emergency food supplies from aid agencies.
Our children are affected. They get sick often. We hope to get more food for them. Many people are suffering from the drought.
The local government is distributing hay, nutritional livestock pellets, as well as transporting water to the most remote villages. But the need is too great.
Herders from different communities across the region come to watering points such as this one to share the resource. But because of the drought, the water is running low, so is pasture, and government officials tell us they're overwhelmed.
The drought in parts of Kenya, worsened by climate change, has been declared a national disaster. Here in Wajir, pastoralists tell us it has not rained for the last 2 years. Weathercasters say the current short rains will not help much.
The food security currently is in the 3rd phase, what they call critical. And if we may not receive adequate rainfall in the coming few days, then definitely it's not something we can handle as a county. The resources we have is very limited.
Times are hard, even for the most resilient of animals. Rare wildlife species found only in this part of the country are also succumbing to hunger, thirst, and exhaustion. Back in the village, Abdirahman Hussein tells us he's helpless as he watches his animals die every day. Catherine Soy, Al Jazeera, Wajir, northeastern Kenya.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.